Hello there, Taurus. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot forecast for the week of April 27th through March 3rd. I am using my Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg once again. And so, Taurus, what we have showing up for Monday is we have the Emperor. The Emperor is a good card to have come up on Monday. Let me think here. Feel here, I should say. Excuse me. Okay, so Taurus, on Monday, you are going to be running into somebody with Emperor-type personality and interacting with them. This could be an interaction on the phone or through email or text or actually in person. Now, the Emperor is somebody who is in a position of authority, so he does make decisions regarding himself and other people. And he is somebody who has high integrity. He's someone that you can count on. He's very responsible. He's not flighty at all. He's somebody that you can really depend on. With the Emperor, he has some very clear-cut standards that he lives by, and he also expects other people to live by some very clear-cut standards too. As long as you live up to this person's standards, you will get along quite well with him. If you don't, expect to be booted out the door at some point or other. He might try to have some compassion for you, and it might take a while, but sooner or later, if you don't come up to his standards, he is not going to be wasting his time on you, okay? So this is the type of person that, as long as you're diligent and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, this is the type of person that can be an extremely reliable friend and a good resource for help whenever you need help in some kind of way where it would be appropriate for him to be a part of that. Okay, so an interaction with that person typically is a very good thing as long as you are, up to his standards. Now, Tuesday, what we have showing up for you, Taurus, is we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a really nice card. This card just talks about having some memories, maybe feeling a little bit of nostalgia for a time that passed, and just sort of looking back and remembering some good things. So these are happy memories that you're having on Tuesday. Sometimes this can be sparked by getting together with old friends, and I feel like for a lot of you that's it. For some of you, you're going to be looking through some old books or some old documents of some kind, and that's going to spark these memories. For other of you, it's going to be old pictures, but there are several different ways that this can manifest. But the bottom line is that on Tuesday, you're going to be having some memories of the past that are good memories. They're going to be fun memories for you to have. Okay? Now, on Wednesday, what we have coming up is we have the Seven of Clubs in reverse. And the Seven of Clubs in reverse is really just talking about the fact that on Wednesday, there will have been a situation where you felt like you needed to take a stand for yourself, and you've done that. And when Wednesday rolls around, it's going to be time to make peace. Everybody has heard your point. Now it's time to make peace with the situation and with the people involved. And go forward and just see how things go now that people have recognized your stance. For you Tauruses, you're going to have mixed outcomes of taking your stand. For some of you, this is going to mean that people are going to be disappearing out of your life. They just can't deal with whatever it is you had to take a stand about for yourself. And for other people, now they're going to be understanding you more, the people you had to take a stand with, and so they're going to get it where you're coming from a little bit better, and so the relationship is going to become easier with those people. For you Tauruses, that it works that way. And for some of you Tauruses, I'm feeling like you're going to have all three reactions. So you might lose some people, you have some people that understand some more, and then the third reaction that you guys are going to be having is that people are going to be like shaken aware. It's like they haven't been aware of where you're coming from before or what your situation is until you took a stand. And not really completely their fault because you haven't really said anything before. I don't feel like there's been a lot said before. And they kind of haven't been looking past their own nose either. So it's kind of a joint fault there that they haven't seen you and your position where you're coming from before. But I feel like they're going to be, for some of you, they're going to be just kind of shaken awake, like, oh, wow, yeah, I hadn't thought about that aspect of it. And they're going to adjust, and it's going to be just fine. So, several different outcomes. I feel like some of you will be getting all three of those responses. Some of you will be just getting one or the other, or a combination of two. It all just depends on who you had to take a stand with and what their personality is like and how strongly you took your stand. If you took your stand in a way that actually makes a difference, or if you just kind of did one of those, I'm sort of kind of taking a stand, it's more than I've ever done before, but it's really not that much. In that case, you're not going to have much impact. To really take a stand and have some impact, you have to really come from a strong position. Okay? So that's what I see going on Wednesday. Wednesday, it becomes time to make peace. You've already made your point. So now it's time to make peace and see what the results are going to be after you've taken your stand. Thursday, what we have showing up is we have the Nine of Cups for you, Taurus. This is a very good card. This is a card that really talks about being in a good place in relationship, being satisfied with where you are in relationship. There are some cards that talk about taking a relationship to the next level. This is not like that. This is a card that says that you're kind of looking around at the relationships that you're in, and you're kind of realizing, you know, I have it pretty good where I am. This is not a card about moving to the next level. This is just a card of appreciation and gratitude for what you have right now, and just really, truly seeing that this is a good place for you to be in. I'm not saying that you're not going to want to make any changes down the road in the future, but for right now, this is good. Okay, so that's what I see you feeling like on Thursday. Now, Friday, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so Friday, what we have coming up is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords has a very specific meaning to me. And so, Taurus, what I'm seeing on Friday is that you are being drawn into those things that I call the secrets of the universe. In other words, these are things that influence our universe that we were never taught about in kindergarten or grade school, or for those of you younger than me, in preschool. We're never taught about these generally in high school or college either. Secrets of the universe are things like metaphysical laws, things like the arcane, the occult, ESP, stuff like this, mediumship, being psychic, all of this stuff. Typically, we're not taught about that stuff anywhere along the way, although it influences our world and our realities quite a bit. So that's why I call it the secrets of the universe. And so on Friday, what I'm seeing is that you are becoming curious about the secrets of the universe. And as you become curious, you're starting to follow that curiosity and learn something about the secrets of the universe on Friday just because you're following curiosity. It doesn't seem to me like for most of you, you're taking classes, but you're just kind of doing your own personal research. And some of you, this curiosity has led you to sign up for classes, and maybe Monday's the first night of the class. Or maybe Monday's when you actually sign up for the class. But for most of you, I feel like this is independent research to see, you know, okay, is there really anything to this? You're watching me. That tells me that you think probably there might be, at least that strong. Okay, so Saturday, what we have coming up for you, Taurus, is we have the Transformation card in reverse. And yes, if you look at it, it does say death on it, blah, blah, blah. Death, really, if you think about it, all it is transformation. We go from running a earthly body to being outside of that earthly body and operating solely in spirit once again. And so to me, death is all about transformation. I don't see death as the end of anything. It's just putting down the body and walking forward without it. So whenever I see the death card, what I see is transformation going on. And so Saturday, what we have going on for you, Taurus, is we do have some transformation. And the kind of transformation that comes up like this on this card is going to be core value transformation. So when I'm talking core values, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those values that we learned when we were too young to know better. These are values that we learned by watching our moms and our dads interact when we were toddlers and younger. This is values that we learned by watching our teachers, by just seeing how the world operates around us. Maybe we're watching our big sisters and brothers, but we really didn't have a filtering system at that time. So we trusted anything that we learned from them, whether we learned it from them by watching them or whether they actually told us these values, okay? So that's why I say core values, these are the values that we learned before we were old enough to know better. Now what happens with core values is a lot of times people teach us some really good stuff by example, some really useful, productive stuff that we can use for the rest of our lives. But sometimes the people that we're watching really don't have their stuff completely together. They're what we call human. And so when we learn from humans, what happens is inevitably we pick up some bad lessons along the way. So some of these core values that were taught to us are not necessarily going to be productive and helpful to us as we grow up and as we move on with our life. So what happens is there's always a certain point in life where you realize that there's a core value that's not working for you, and you don't always necessarily look at it like in those particular terms, but you start to realize I've been doing this for forever and it's not helping me. So then you start to really pick it apart and look at it and try to figure out, okay, well, why doesn't this work for me? And then we throw out those things that don't work for us and we replace them with new values that do work for us, and these become our new core values. Now, when we replace the old core values that aren't working for us with new core values that are more productive and helpful in life, then what happens is we're actually able to walk down our life path much more easily and productively, and we're able to actually be happier than what we were before. So when we have a core value change like this, when this shows up, this is a very good thing for us. This is a happiness-making thing. It can be kind of scary and treacherous to go through the process. You know, we're human, we don't really like change that much. It's not predictable. But once you get to the other side, it's a really good thing. Now, having said all of that, here's the thing. This card came up in reverse. So what we're saying about these core values that are changing is that on Saturday, you're seeing these core value changes come in. You realize that they need to happen, and you realize what they need to be changed to on Saturday. But since this card is reversed, what I'm seeing is you're letting fear take over. You're not allowing those core changes to move through you and through your life. You're trying to hold them at bay. Guess what? You can't. They're going to come in one way or the other. This is not a negotiable thing, okay? And a lot of times people do try to hold them at bay because of the whole fact that it is change and we don't know where it's taking us. And when we sense this coming in, we know it's big. We know we're talking about life-changing issues here when we're talking about core values. And you see this change coming in, you know it's huge. You know it's probably going to change the way you interact with people at work. It's going to change your feelings about the work that you do, possibly. It's going to change your relationship with your significant other if you have one. It's going to change your relationship with your family. This is big. It changes everything. And so because we're afraid of change, a lot of times what happens is people see this change moving in and they're holding it back because they don't know what that change is going to bring, and they're quasi-comfortable where they are. They're afraid of the change making them uncomfortable. And it will make you uncomfortable until you let it flow completely through. But here's the trick. When you hold this change out here away from you, what you're doing is you're prolonging the torture. Because it is a certain kind of torture as you're making this change and you're finding your way around your world again, finding your way around in life again with this new change. It is kind of a torture because it's this whole unknowingness that we just dislike so much. But the thing is, when you hold it out here, you're still getting that unknowingness. It's still flowing into you just a little bit at a time, whatever can fit between here. Where if you take your hands down, it all comes in, it washes over you, comes in, works its way through you, and now you're on to your life in a way that can make you happier and more productive. So when you feel this energy coming in, try not to resist it on Saturday, because if you resist it, you're prolonging the torture of not knowing what's coming next. You're making it harder for yourself. If you let these changes flow in, know that you're going to be happier once they get all the way into you. Just let them flow in and just follow them where they lead. That's going to be much better. Yes, uncomfortable for a little bit, but much better than prolonging that discomfort. Because you're not going to keep these changes away. These changes are deep changes and there's no way to stop them. All right, so I think we spent enough time on that day. Sunday, what we have showing up is we have the Knight of Cups. So Sunday, I'm not feeling like this is so much somebody that you're going to be actually communicating with, as much as I'm feeling like this is somebody that is going to be this is going to be somebody that is how you feel on Sunday. And on Sunday, I see you feeling like you're maybe a little bit looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. You're seeing the good in everyone and everything, and you're probably feeling a little bit romantic, and you're just really grateful for and enjoying life the way it is. And you may even be thinking about, starting a new relationship for those of you who aren't in a relationship. Now, for those of you Tauruses who are in a relationship, this is a really nice time to take some kind of romantic effort towards your partner. Maybe bring in some flowers, maybe cook a nice meal and light the candles and surprise them when they get home. All kinds of romantic gestures that you can make. And I see you really feeling like making those types of gestures on Sundays, and a really good day to do that too. I'm feeling like for most of you, your partner is going to be very happy about this. Very happy about this. It seems like some of them are going to be like, what? Wait a second. You don't have a romantic bone in your body. Where did this come from? That's what some of your partners are going to be saying, and they're just going to be overwhelmed. They're going to be like, wow. And others are used to you being this way. Some of you Tauruses can be very romantic, and so, but that doesn't mean that they appreciate it any less. So they're going to be really appreciating this. So I'm really feeling a lot of positive feedback from your romantic gesture that comes out on Sunday, especially to those of you who already have partners. For those of you who don't have partners, of course, the feedback a little bit mixed. You never know what you're dealing with. Sometimes other people's energy is not in the same place as you. Sometimes it is. You just never know what you're going to get. Some of you are going to have good results, some of you not so much. But the point is, you kind of got out there. You put yourself out there, and that's a really good thing. That's a part of living. So whether it works out great for you or whether you end up just kind of walking away a little bit bummed out, either way, you did some living, so it's a good thing. All right, so Taurus, that is your week. For those of you who would like to schedule a private session with me, please feel free to check out my website and make sure I'm the best reader for you. My website is amista.info, amista.info. Once you're there, poke around a little bit. If you still feel like I'm the best reader for you, then get in touch with me and we'll schedule a session for you as quickly as possible. For everybody else, you all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Peace out.